Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this session. Let's do a quick poll first. Raise your hand if you have been using Oracle databases for more than 20 years. You guys are veterans. All right. How about 10? A few hands? Okay. And how many of you are running your Oracle databases on premises? Your own data center, colo, maybe the basement? Okay. So you're definitely in the right room. For decades, customers across industries have been using Oracle databases for storing their valuable enterprise data. What we are seeing change now is an increased sense of urgency to move these Oracle databases to Google Cloud. Why? Because customers recognize moving this valuable enterprise data right next to where their AI models are running, where their agents are running, is required for them to perform. And we, on our part, understand that these are mission-critical databases. So our goal is simple. Make it easy, simple, and risk-free for you to migrate your Oracle databases and then maximize your AI velocity. And that's exactly what we are going to show you in this session with the advancements we are making. Let's get started. My name is Chayan Biswas. I lead the product management team for Oracle databases on Google Cloud. Joining me later on stage is Andy. Andy is a database black belt. Essentially what that means is that he's our resident expert for all things Oracle databases. We are also fortunate to have 2 customers and 1 partner joining us today. So Anunay from Macy's, Chris from Telus, and then Satish from LTM or LTM, as it's called now, will be joining us on stage towards the end of the session. Hang on. It's a very engaging panel discussion about their journey to Google Cloud, the impact they are already seeing, and what's lined up next. So Google Cloud is known for its full stack AI capabilities, right from our TPUs to industry-leading AI models. Oracle, as I was noting, is a database trusted by enterprises across the board for storing valuable, important, business-relevant data. When we came together, we joined our hands. Our objective was simple: to provide you the best of both worlds, best of Google, best of Oracle. And in doing so, enable your vision for building the intelligent, agile enterprise of the future. So how do we help you achieve that? First, we simplify your migrations. If you are running Exadata, we have got you covered. You want to run real application clusters, RAC, we have got you covered for that too. Or you're just running Oracle databases standard dev test workloads, we have choices available for that as well. Once you migrate your database, you want to get going as quickly as possible to modernize your application and start using AI. So we build these Oracle solutions just exactly the same way we built our own database services. So it's deeply integrated into our AI ecosystem, full stack AI services, as well as analytics services. So you can get going immediately. Finally, as customers move to the cloud, they want to improve the standards of their security, scalability, reliability, performance. And you get all of that with the best practices and standards that are available and you're accustomed to with Google Cloud. You get to employ them for your Oracle databases. So what are the various choices available to you? First and foremost is our joint offering, Google and Oracle's joint offering on the marketplace, which is Oracle Database at Google Cloud. Through this, Oracle deploys their own infrastructure in our data center, so you get low latency connection to our entire set of services. And at the same time, you are able to get access to all Oracle database services like Exadata, Autonomous Database, and BaseDB service. There are situations where customers want more flexibility to deploy their databases in various locations or have various different instance shapes that they desire. In such situations, we have the ability to run Oracle databases on Google Compute. That includes GCE, Google Compute Engine, GKE, Kubernetes, or even VMware, if that's what you want to run on. And finally, there's an interconnect solution between GCP and OCI regions so that with low latency, you can communicate between the two. This is useful in situations, for example, you are running Fusion apps on OCI, and you want to run analytics on Google Cloud. You get a low latency connection between the two clouds. Let's dive deeper into some of the new things we are launching with each of these options. First one is workload management for Oracle databases on Google Compute Engine. What is it? It gives you automation for deploying Oracle databases on our instances. Through the console or the API, with just a few clicks, you can get an Oracle database running. And the key benefit is that we have baked in all the best practices, including configuration choices for high availability deployments across zones using Data Guard. And what we are observing is that even if you are an expert Oracle user and GCP user, it used to take hours to deploy Oracle databases. Now it takes minutes. Another thing I'm very excited about launching is a new instance type, M4N, along with Hyperdisk Extreme support to provide access to instance shapes and higher CPU cycles that you desire for your Oracle databases, along with higher throughput that we support through Hyperdisk Extreme. Overall, what we see is that it gives you better price performance. And in terms of TCO, a large part of it, of course, is your licensing and support. That, therefore, comes down significantly as well, compared to what we see here, other two hyperscalers. Moving on to our marketplace offering with Oracle. There's significant set of choices that you have available now across the board, and there's more being added. I'll tell you more about those services in a short bit. First one and foremost is Exadata. If you are running Exadata on premises, this gives you dedicated infrastructure, access to underlying host, at the same time, managed capabilities in terms of patching OS upgrades that Oracle provides you to simplify your operations. On a shared infrastructure side, we have a fully managed service autonomous database, and Exascale, which gives you the ability to still get access to the underlying host, and at the same time benefit from lower compute sizes instead of going for a quarter rack, for example. Finally, base database service. If you are not dependent on Exadata for high throughput, you have a standard workload that you're running, maybe a dev test workload, you can run that on Oracle base database service. Customers want this offering in regions where they are deployed today. So I'm excited to share with you that we have expanded to 15 regions, with 11 regions added just last year. And across the board, from North America, South America, Asia Pac, Europe, now we have locations spread across. So wherever you want to run this offering, we have it near you. First and foremost objective, when customers migrate to Google Cloud, is to be able to modernize their application stack. And on that front, we offer, in terms of capabilities, of course, we have Cloud Run, we have Kubernetes, we have Compute Engine. Whether you have a custom application or you are running an Oracle first-party application like eBusiness Suite, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, there are choices available for you to quickly and immediately migrate over. What are those choices? First of all, we have provided a bunch of resources, including reference architectures for enterprise applications. These are resources you can go and access once you get home. Migration accelerators, I talked about the workload manager. In addition to that, we have Terraform templates that simplify your e-business suite and PeopleSoft deployments. And the underlying toolkit for Workload Manager is also available to you if you want to tweak it around, customize it, and move forward. One great new addition that happened in the last 24 hours, so it's fresh off the press, is our Oracle e-business suite framework for Gemini Enterprise. This is a set of tools and automation that allow you to, first of all, very easily and quickly deploy e-business suite, but more importantly, build agents that get deployed to Gemini Enterprise agent platform and help you start interacting with your e-business suite applications. So go on home and go give them a try, and we look forward to you guys modernizing your application stacks using GCP. Next up, Andy has a bunch of amazing demos he has lined up for us. So very excited to see what we have to show here. There you go.
Very much. Thank you, Chayan. So I've got a lot to cover with a whole lot of new features and new capabilities that we're bringing in with a fairly limited amount of time because I want to make sure that you can hear from our customers. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about specifically is what we're doing once you've migrated and you've brought those databases and those applications into Google Cloud. It's really cool to start advancing with AI and some of the capabilities that we have. And what Chayan mentioned was our goal is to make it as easy to deploy an Oracle database in Google Cloud as it is any other Google database service. And we want to treat those Oracle databases just like any other database service that we have. And so the first thing that's most important is that those Oracle databases, they're the center of the universe when it comes to data. And without moving those databases in, you can't do anything with AI. And so we need to be able to start to integrate that. And what we're doing is we're unblocking all of the capabilities that you need to have. So first and foremost, everything starts with the knowledge catalog. That if you don't have some sort of reference to try and gather all of the disparate sets of data that you have around your enterprise, the AI isn't going to know what to do with any of it. And so what we've done is we've launched Knowledge Catalog where you can immediately integrate Cloud SQL, AlloyDB, Spanner, and we're bringing Oracle databases into the fold, just like everything else. So now you can start to gather information about those schemas and those tables and those objects so that your agents can start to take action on the data that you have. Beyond that, we're launching our MCP server that's managed by Google. And this is the same capability that we're bringing to any of the other databases, and we're bringing Oracle into the fold for that. And so what this does for you is it gives you an integration with Knowledge Catalog to be able to get all of the actionable information out of your data, no matter where it sits in your enterprise. So you can build on that same platform that you're using for any other Google service. Oracle just fits right in with everything else, and it's completely seamless for you. Let's take a quick look at what this looks like in action. And we have a bank. Symbol Bank is our standard utility for everything that we do here at Google. And we've launched our managed MCP server, and we have Gemini CLI connecting into this database. So we want to say, hey, can we list the top 5 loan applications in the US? The first thing that it does is it asks us, okay, what database do we need to connect to? And we give it the autonomous database information using credentials that are stored in Google Secret Manager, and it gives us that information back. The MCP server connects to the database, it runs the query, and it gives us everything from a JSON output that's readable by AI to a table that's readable by a human. And just to prove that we're not doing anything too crazy, we want to see what is the SQL command that it's running, that the MCP server generated and ran against this database. And we can see it's just doing a pretty simple select star from loan application, looking at the currency. But this is just an example of what you can start to do with these managed MCP servers across your estate, where you may have hundreds or thousands of databases. Based on the knowledge catalog that you have, it will know which databases it needs to connect to be able to get any of that information out. Now let's talk about streamlining. So it's really important from our perspective that when you move your Oracle databases into Google, it's not an Oracle service that's separate from everything else in Google. Because from your perspective, you're running these databases on Google Cloud. Your operations teams want to be able to manage all of this as if it's a Google database service and use the same tools and capabilities that you have for anything across our catalog. That comes down to single pane monitoring. All of the database metrics that come out of an Oracle database, whether that's CPU utilization, average active sessions, all the things down the line, those all get ingested by Google as native Google Cloud metrics. And while it sounds kind of cool, the important thing for you to know is that when your operations teams are building dashboards, single pane of glass to be able to view what your applications are doing, they're not having to context switch between various providers or services. And you have one view, one dashboard for the application that shows here's what the app stack is doing, here's what the database is doing, and then you can triage and quickly go in and diagnose what might be happening to the database. You can also get native Google Cloud alerts, so you're not having to go and move around between different providers to be able to provide a top level of service. These are your core applications. These are the things that run your business. And we don't want you to have to compromise in any way to be able to run your business effectively. Support is very, very important to us. Nobody likes to have to reach out to support. I'll be completely honest, as a reformed DBA, it's not the most fun thing in the world. But one of the things that we've done is we have full engineering to engineering and support to support channels. So if you open a case with Oracle, if there's any kind of issue that they suspect might be associated to Google, they walk it back and talk to Google on the back end. So you're not bouncing around between providers. And that gives a really, really quick and easy way to take advantage of this system. From a security, scale, and reliability perspective, we've integrated VPC service controls. That's gone GA. We're treating this as, again, as everything that you would get out of a native database service from Google. Along with fleet management, we've integrated Oracle databases running on Oracle AI Database at Google Cloud into Database Center. So right next to all of the other databases that you have inside GCP, you can see that database, whether it's running on Exadata, if it's an autonomous database, if it's running on Exascale, wherever it is, you get all the same information that you would get if it were Cloud SQL or Spanner. And we use AI to give you actionable insights on any kinds of issues that we find with those databases. So let's take a quick look. As you can see, we've launched this. We have databases that are both autonomous database, 19C, 26AI. We've even got a Cloud SQL MySQL just for fun. And we can go through and list these databases and see everything. We click on the resources and we see a little bit more detail about all these databases. We can see the locations where they're running. We can see that we have some high priority issues for this ADB instance that's running an application. If we go through, we can click on whatever that high priority issue is, and we start to see what the AI has detected that might need to be remediated on this database. It's configured with public access. That might have been an accident. It might have been intentional, but it shows it to us, and it gives us, here are the actions that you can take to try and resolve this. It also notices this database hasn't been configured for failover. Again, it might not be important, but it's important to be able to see that and know what's going on. We can also see it hasn't been backed up. This is probably not a very important database when it comes down to it, but we get all this information directly from the AI. Another thing that we've launched, and this is probably one of the biggest ones for a lot of our customers that solves a lot of pain for them, is Golden Gate in Google Cloud on Oracle Database at Google Cloud. This gives you the full capability of OCI Golden Gate, deployed by Google APIs through the Google Cloud infrastructure, network connections, and everything else. And you get all of the connection types, source, target, everything that you need to be able to replicate data one way or another inside and out of Google Cloud. We'll do one last demo. And we've built out, Symbol Bank again has connected their applications. They've brought them into Oracle Autonomous AI Database. They've got other data sets and data sources that are serving into BigQuery. They're now using Golden Gate to stream that data into BigQuery, and they've built an agent that is able to read all that data that's sitting in BigQuery now. So we could say, hey, list me the tables. Just show me what's been replicated. It reads the information out of BigQuery, gets the data that's associated with the tables that have been replicated, and it also knows this data is coming out of Oracle and is reflected in real-time commits. Now we can say, hey, which regions are underperforming from Q4 2025? And tell me by the percentage which region is the largest. It talks to BigQuery and immediately comes back, hey, the APAC region is a little bit underperforming. It's not too bad, under 6%. But it gives us a chart and shows us exactly what we need to know just directly from the BigQuery data set. And then the last thing that we can do is run another query against the big data, or the BigQuery data set, and say, hey, break down the Q4 transactions by type and show me which one generated the least revenue. Just to run some analysis against the data set. So we can see what it's pulled up, and we can see pretty charts, everything that we would want to see. And this is all powered by Autonomous AI Database, Golden Gate, BigQuery, and Gemini. And lastly, just to prove that we are continuing to modernize and bring this offering forward, we're trying to make sure that not just you're prepared for what's longer or coming soon, but making sure that you can easily migrate and run your enterprise databases directly on Google Cloud. And with that, I will now pass it back over to Chayan and the rest of the panel.
Thank you, Andy. I'd like to invite now our customer panel and partner panel. So Satish, why don't we get started with you? Chris and Anunay. Well, first of all, thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. Why don't we get started with quick introductions, what role you have at your organization, and what's the use case? What were you looking to migrate onto Google Cloud? So Anunay, we'll start with you.
So my name is Anunay Mehta. I'm with Macy's Technology. I have responsibilities for all database tech stack at Macy's from an operations perspective. I've been with Macy's for almost 30 years now, and I've enjoyed every single day of my work at Macy's. It's a fantastic group of people, absolutely fantastic culture, and we love our customers, right? So keeps us going every day.
Awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about the workloads that you're migrating to Google Cloud?
So I'm excited to share that we are already in production for about a year.
Amazing.
It's almost been a year that we have been in production in Oracle at Google Cloud. We are running few components of one of our very business critical application that today runs on a legacy mainframe.
Yep.
We are in the East 4 region. It's a multi-terabyte database, runs on XSES, highly available. We plan to complete the migration later part of this year.
Perfect. So that's a perfect example of the kind of mission critical workloads we are seeing customers migrate to Google Cloud with this joint offering with Oracle. Chris, let's have you go next. Tell us about your role and the workload as well.
No pun intended with TELUS, I guess, right? My name's Chris Collition. I'm with TELUS out of Vancouver, BC. I support a team called Cloud Transformation, which is focused on really migrating our telco-based applications to GCP. I also support a number of components in our data centers, the servers, databases, as well as storage. We're well on our way to migrating a number of our applications supporting our key customer journeys for products that every Canadian uses, like mobile phones and internet and television. We're well on our way. We're on the other side of 50%. Our focus has been to move to cloud native services such as GKE and Cloud SQL. But with this, new offering, Oracle at GCP, it's a new tool in our toolkit that we're going to be leveraging soon.
Great to hear that. And Satish, tell us about some of the migration patterns you are seeing as well as you describe your role.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Satish Singh. I lead the Google Cloud Business Unit at LTM. I'm based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. The pattern which we have been seeing for last 2 years almost, most of the customers who have been running Oracle workloads on premises, they've been trying to modernize in order to meet the customer demands and evolving, what's going on in the world. And the major challenges which they have is threefold. One, the refresh cycles, the investment in the hardware, which is the technical debt, has been pretty challenging. And they have been asking us to find out a path which is low risk, less time, and low cost to migrate to Google Cloud. And the major workloads in Oracle, which we have been trying to help customers migrate, is JD Edwards as an application, which is the backbone of most of the times, especially supply chain, financial systems, and Oracle databases. So these two are something which we have done in last year for almost half a dozen customers. And the migrations have been pretty, challenging learning. We'll talk about some of the key challenges and learnings.
All right, perfect. I'm not going to claim we have a crystal ball, but all the reasons that Satish mentioned are the reasons why we got into this partnership, Oracle and Google. Anunay, we'll go with the next question with you. What was your migration journey like, especially considering that you have worked with another partner of ours, Accenture? How was that experience?
I think a lot of credit goes to Accenture for making sure that we had a smooth migration. They have been driving this initiative for us. We have been innovating and modernizing from our legacy mainframe tech stack. Excuse me. And they have been instrumental in making sure that they had this offering for XSCS available to us as soon as it came out. They partnered with Google, they partnered with Oracle, and they made sure that our entire team here was up to speed as soon as it was launched. And that actually helped us reduce the risks for this project. I mean, the original plan was to rewrite this. If Oracle at XSCS and Google was not available, we would have had to rewrite this into some other tech stack. But with this offering, I think that allowed us to eliminate that risk and increase the speed of delivery for us. So a lot of credit goes to Accenture there.
All right. Thank you, Accenture folks who are in the audience. All right. Chris, tell us about how you modeled out your migration. What were some of the challenges that you encountered, and what are the learnings?
Okay. Like I talked about, our destination is cloud native Google services such as Cloud SQL and GKE, to name a few, and there are others. What that entails is a lot of transformation. So we're transforming from Oracle databases on-premise, moving to Postgres on Cloud SQL. And that's difficult to do at the same time, looking to modernize our applications. This use case actually allows us to enjoy these benefits that we would see on Cloud SQL really quickly because of some of the work that Andy went through of some of the plumbing that's all in place. So although we're not live yet, we just started a few months ago and we're moving some of our largest systems supporting TELUS. So, enterprise billing applications and provisioning applications that support services that everybody uses across all channels. So what we're seeing is the ability to move really quickly because a lot of the mechanics have been worked out and we're just focusing on the migrations and testing.
Thank you. Satish, do you want to add some color to, as you were mentioning, you work with multiple customers, so you see more patterns?
Right. The recent, I said 1 year, what we have observed is most of the customers, when we approach and we solidify their mindset for migration and solving a challenge, most of the times the customer is facing the issues. They say, we have been running Oracle for multi-decades. We've got all the data, everything is in place. The moment you enter and you discover the data, we found almost 40 to 45% of the data is in tribal minds of the people who have been there. So what we have done and advise the customers, and this has worked out pretty well, is automated discovery is still not solving the whole problem. It's between 50 to 60%. You have to do a lot of work with customers, like maybe Chris, Anunay, and people who have been managing it. If that data is collected right, dependencies are collected, lineage is there, integrations are figured out, pretty much your initial phases of migration kicks you off in a right stage. Otherwise, it's like vice versa. You spend cycles, times, and it becomes a challenge.
Awesome. All right. That's a great suggestion for folks who are looking to undertake these migrations as well.
Thank you.
Chris, will go with you for this next question. What was the most compelling part for you to choose Google Cloud?
Originally, when we started on our cloud journey a handful of years back, we thought we were going to quickly lift and shift our application stack. And we corrected that early on because you really cannot get the true benefits of cloud unless you're enjoying some of the cloud native offerings that Google brings to bear. And what that really translates to is high reliability. Our customers in our environment, in our business, demand the highest reliability. They demand the ability to change their products and services when they need to and very quickly. As an example, if you're a subscriber to our TV service and a new season of, The Bear drops, you want Disney as a channel that night, and you want it in minutes because you want to start watching it. So again, the ability to understand and build services that are highly reliable, highly scalable, really underpin our reason for using Google Cloud.
Amazing. Reliability is definitely something that we pride ourselves in. Anunay, what were the reasons for you?
For us, Macy's and Google's have been very good partners. I would say we have had a key and strategic relationship with them for many years. Mm-hmm. So our preferred direction is to build things in Google Cloud. And that is why we went this direction, and we were looking for some good database technology for this legacy migration in Google Cloud.
Perfect. I have another question for you, Anunay. In the retail landscape, it's super important for you to leverage real-time data. What are some of the integrations and specifically tools and services offered by Google Cloud that you found was useful for you to translate your systems of record in Oracle to systems of intelligence and action?
So we use a lot of. We're a big Golden Gate shop, and from systems of records to actual all systems, Golden Gate forms a data pipeline for us. Mm-hmm. We partner with Google in the data stream. We leverage data stream also to make sure that we make data available in near real time where it is needed. So we have a lot of business use cases where we are sending data in near real time. I often joke that at Macy's, you give us the data and we'll move it in near real time wherever you want it, right? Across clouds so we are very good with that. And we have a very good talent pool for that.
That's great to hear that you are using a spread of our services, right? Mm-hmm. Various choices. I'll take the next question to Chris. In telecom, network reliability, customer service, all these matter a lot. How is your modern data strategy, including migrating to Google Cloud, using some of our cloud native services, built upon your, of course, some of the foundation in Oracle, has enabled you to proactively address these requirements?
Sure. I mean, as we're we're starting to realize, again, the speed of this offering to bringing our Oracle conversions to bear in, months and not longer. What we've seen for the last few years as we migrated to Google native services is that high reliability, and really what that translates to from a customer experience, that's good. But again, it translates into real business results. So again, we're in a highly competitive industry. Having reliable systems available and responsive when we're activating mobile phones and people are on self-serve or on websites or in stores. It's absolutely vital that our services and our IT services are up and running and fully responsive. So again, Google Cloud underpins this. It allows us to scale when we go into our peak sales period in Q4. It allows us to, with our FinOps practices, bring that back down. So again, the power of cloud, both from a scalability, but again, from a FinOps practice, bringing that back down and containing those costs as we get into quieter periods of the year.
Great point to cap out there, which is elasticity and cost efficiency. That's one of the key reasons we also hear customers move to the cloud. Satish, I'll pose the next question to you. In terms of what you are seeing in the field with various different customers, what are some of the use cases being enabled by real-time data integration as well as AI?
I would say in the last 1.5 years, it has evolved over a period of time. Initially, the customers were trying to be very close to the modern AI infrastructure because scalability was a concern, which they were getting addressed.
Yep.
Then, like Chris talked about, everybody has a peak season in their business. And you want to make sure that your evolution of customers, your new business coming in, everything is addressed. But I think in the last 8 months, Chayan, it has changed.
Yep.
And the change is, and I'll take an example, when we go to our academic days, Bernoulli was the person who invented the flight.
Yep.
And people still think the solid engine which you have in your airplane, that propels you forward. That's right. But it doesn't take you far uplift. It is the wings of the plane which lifts you off.
Yep.
And if I correlate that to today's scenario, modern cloud infrastructure is the engine. No doubt Google Cloud is best. You're running like a pilot solid. But can you have all the agentic AI capabilities, invoke all the use cases for your business? No, for that, the wings are, you have to be close to data and AI and be close to a technology provider, which is kind best of the breed. So customers are saying my use cases for 10 years. For example, I wanted to make sure my stores are fully self-help. I need a lot of data. I need a lot of AI analytics. How do I do that? I was on-prem, half I was on cloud, I couldn't do this. So in my opinion, modern cloud infrastructure, great. Oracle running on Google Cloud was still great, but your agentic AI capabilities were still a challenge to modernize your use cases sitting there for 10 years if your Oracle data estate was not attached directly to the cloud AI. So there is a shift, and this shift is telling us that customers are open to spend, open to proposals, open to evolution, but those wings have to be sharpened, polished, and shown how high you want to go.
That's an amazing metaphor, by the way. I'm going to reuse that. I'm going to steal that from you. All right. Because we are on the topic of AI, I have some questions for you, Anunay, because I know you have been already employing that for both operations as well as customer experiences. So can you tell us a little bit more about how you are using AI today, the agents you have built?
Yes, I mean, again, excited to share that we have a lot of AI use cases in production today. From a business perspective, I don't know if any one of you attended our SVP session at 1:15, Ask Macy's. That was a fantastic use case. And we have other leaders also talking about business use cases. From an operations perspective, we have been working on a three-pronged approach of ask, heal, and save, where ask is for observability of all databases or all tech stacks. Healing is any self-healing opportunities where agents actually detect a problem and correct it before it happens. And save is about resource and cost optimizations that we can achieve in real time. So we have a lot of use cases in those which are already up and running. We have primarily leveraged ADK or ADK with MCP as our tool of choice. And we are also evaluating and playing with the A2A capabilities right now.
That's awesome to hear. And glad that you're already adopting all the new things, new tools that we put out there. And I know in retail it's important to stay at the bleeding edge. So great to hear you're already using GCP tools for doing that. Chris, you want to add something to that?
Sure. I'll start at the very beginning. The most obvious use of AI is helping accelerate our development teams. So our development teams, again, over the last year have really embraced AI and helping drive the transformation of code that we're trying to do. So like that's the obvious use case that's out there. Now, as we link all this together, we've moved a few years back a lot of our Hadoop, on-premise Hadoop estate to BigQuery. This just ties into our larger ecosystem. So what we have in our BigQuery is being fed from what's on-premise. It's going to be fed from what is moving in Oracle at GCP, as well as in Postgres. So again, we deal with it. We leverage that with our analytics and a really robust AI practice that we have in Telus to drive the real results, like the real understanding of the customers and what we need to do with them.
That's amazing to hear. Satish, again, leaning into your industry experience here, what are the various ways you're seeing customers measure impact of real-time data movement and AI?
I think if I summarize across medium, low, complex migrations, which we have done so far, the primary point which customer is measuring at the end of the day is how do you call a migration was successful, it was meeting your business need. One of the complex cases where the customer said, I had almost enormous amount of database tables, which we had clear visibility into it. You were able to map it when I migrated onto Google Cloud. But who's going to test it? Again, the humans are going to make the mistakes they've been doing for the last 2 decades. Yeah. So AI has, turned around the table that when it comes to testing phase, it has not only cut down the time, the accuracy has gone far up. So if I have to take a call, I want to do a production cutover, I'm pretty confident about it. There is a 98% probability I'm going to be successful. I think AI is playing a huge role. Human loop has been cut out. And in being as a services provider, that was the most longest cycle which used to delay productions, put things on back burner, and that is a big boom. And by the way, I liked it, the e-business suite framework which you announced. One of our customers, one of the manufacturing customers, that was a problem they stated almost 1 year ago when we were trying to do it. I mean, we did it, but this will make it far easier, I guess.
Perfect. All right. I know we are running up on the clock, so one last advice, Chris, for the leaders in the audience who are looking to undertake this journey. What should we be looking out for?
I'm going to focus on our people. Like what makes this happen is our strong team. So both in Telus, we're fortunate enough to have a global team called Telus International, who are highly skilled, as well as our people who have been running things for years. Giving them the opportunity to be part of transformation is energizing, and they're up for the challenge.
Awesome. Empowering the teams. And Anunay, what's your parting advice for leaders in the audience?
So I want to make sure that everybody understands that the concept of multi-clouds and open clouds is here. It is very real. And in this concept, the real winner is the customer. It opens up a lot of opportunities for us to innovate and modernize. And add to that the AI. When you bring your data to AI, it opens up endless possibilities for you to innovate. So keep that in mind and embrace it. It's easy. It's simple. It's not that complicated as it sounds. And we have achieved a lot of successes in that. And I wish the same for everyone.
Thank you all again for joining us on stage, walking us through your journeys, all the learnings you have experienced along the way, and giving us a glimpse into what's coming next.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chayan.
We have a bunch of other sessions. If you want to continue your learning, you want to learn more about how you can run Oracle workloads and power them with AI, take a look at these sessions, go attend them. And finally, surveys. That's the way we improve our content, what we bring out to you. So please don't forget to fill them out. Thank you all.
Thank you.